Probably should have told that to work. All right, so who wants to talk about what happened last time?
Tragedy struck!
I know that the answer is nobody.
Well, we very happily and successfully reunited after our separate little sojourns out into the world to do stuff.
We did.
And then got a letter saying, hey, dipshit, get your ass to DACA because I say so. And the car was like, okay, fine. Hey, guys, you want to go with me while I do politics, I guess? And everyone was like, yeah, okay.
Not going to lie, Wild thought about saying no.
Yeah, you could have said no. That would have been
But-
fine.
Really glad I didn't. I don't know if it would have been fine.
It would have
I
been
don't-
fine it would have been fine at the moment.
Oh, there you go. Okay, yes. That is true.
And
And
you're
then-
on Discord.
And then
Oh,
as
yes,
we
I
wandered,
am. Sorry.
and then as we wandered down the road, peacefully minding our own innocuous business, our dearly beloved nemesis showed up.
We spoke his name. We summoned him.
We have spoken his name a lot. He was not summoned.
Eh. Yep.
So
Mistakes were made.
Graves happened. Mistakes were made. Good choices were also made. But the mistakes were worse. And that's how we wind up running frantically in the direction of DACA with a dead frog in tow.
Yes, may I? We also did notice that Graves happened to have a certain sword on him, one that Wild used to own, one that we gave to the Greybeards.
Silverbeard.
Silverbeard's
Silverbeard.
legally distinct. It's
Silverbeard.
fine. It's fine. I've done it too. It was in my notes for a time.
Oh darn. But yes, these Silverbeards had, and they traded me a Life Stealer for it, which I was more than happy to
Yeah.
agree with.
And it went into their
And that-
vaults.
And that sword, and that sword was certainly cursed. And that what kind of led our paladin into attempting to remove curse from an enemy and getting a little too close.
And now he is dead.
Rest in power.
So,
Bleh.
so as you guys very, very quickly made your way with Rogan in tow, very quickly we're like, okay, Wild just threw him off the bridge. He's got to pull himself out of the muck. This is a good time to leave. Arcade got her horse, grabbed Brando, started hoofing it. Everybody else got into the cart. Rogan
We're
chased
pretty
behind
sure
you
he-
guys.
Yeah, we're pretty sure that he doesn't have a move speed of 60, so we think we're okay.
Yeah, and you guys piled into the cart as he was trying to grappling hook his way back up onto the bridge. And as soon as you guys
And he was
all-
then kicked off of.
Yeah, you got Cyrus's body into the cart. Wilhelm snapped the reins. The cart started moving away with due haste. And as you guys are riding away, the adrenaline still pumping hot through your veins. It's not difficult for you guys to notice that Graves does manage to pull himself back onto the bridge before you guys break line of sight. But he
That's
doesn't.
fine.
He doesn't give chase. But you do hear him yelling at you guys. He goes, "Lieutenant!" And that's it. And that leaves you still battered and bloodied over Cyrus's corpse as you speed away from the scene.
Coward.
Immediately,
Ow.
Brando. So Brando, you've been thinking about this particular spell for a while, and you think you could pull it off if you had the materials. Luckily, you know Cyrus keeps the materials in his pockets.
Yep.
So you go straight to rifling through his stuff until you find his. I imagine you have a pouch.
Diamond?
I imagine Cyrus keeps a pouch that's just like in case of revivify break glass.
Yeah, yeah.
And it just has 3 diamonds in it. Okay.
So Brando tries using it once.
Okay.
With the added mustache.
All right. It does expend the diamond.
What do I need to roll?
So the way this is going to work, this doesn't count as a resurrection because this is a rapid. This is what is called a rapid resurrection check, which means we're going to skip the part where you guys have to like convince Cyrus's soul to come back. We're just going to go
Aw.
straight to you.
No, Brando.
I
can-
mean, you could try it anyways.
Well, hold up. There is a dice roll involved,
Oh,
and there's a chance that it could fail. And if it does, then your window for revivify has been lost.
Ooh. Oh.
Now, Cyrus has never been resurrected before, so the DC is 10. I don't believe this is a... Yeah, this is a flat D20 roll, Brando.
All right. Cross your fingers.
Wow.
Ow! Halfling.
He's a
I
half.
don't know.
He's a halfling.
He
I don't
is.
know. The dice really wanted to be a
17.
1.
Well, too bad. Halfling says, "Get your ass up, frog."
If anybody else had done it, they would have gotten it wrong. Truly, Brando is the Morden Solus of this world.
Oh, it had to be him.
Yep,
The
it
very
had to
model
be
of a
Brando.
Scientist Solarian.
Someone else would have gotten it wrong. Brando, you say some nice words. You tell Cyrus to get the fuck up, and then you crush the diamond in your hand, and the dust turns
So
into.
Brando says, "Frog, you better get up, or you will be buried with a mustache on you."
Really? That's what you bring me back with?
Yep.
And
Cyrus, I've drawn a mustache on you. Can you see?
I mean, that's arguably better than what Sakara would say to you.
the diamond becomes
Which is-
a cloud of fine
Yeah.
dust, which cascades over the body, refilling it with life and pulling its soul straight back to the material plane.
So you have HP.
Ow.
And then Brando gets right on to healing you with a cure spell.
I feel like I've made some mistakes today.
I think we all make mistakes today.
After healing Cyrus, Brando bonks Cyrus in the head. Yes, he did.
Did we win?
No.
No.
Oh,
We escaped with our lives.
I'm going back to sleep.
Yeah, that's
That's fair.
where we're at.
Pat's frog.
You're
Again.
You're pretty exhausted, Cyrus.
Mm.
You can still hear Graves' voice because he's actually still yelling at you guys from down the road.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, we could do a bunch of healing right now and go back at him.
No.
I bonk. Bonk.
Bonks for everybody.
Is that a move?
Yeah.
No, it's
bonk.
just the anime donk on the head.
Yeah,
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we all run away.
Yeah. And as I recall, you guys said that you were just going to straight up ride through the night because you know this guy
Brand-
doesn't sleep.
Sleep.
He doesn't need to stop to catch
Nope.
up with you guys if you decided to rest. So you don't.
Bravely we did run away.
Yeah.
Brave Sir Robin.
It makes your trip a hell of a lot quicker, but you guys show up a little worse for wear by the time you reach the gates of Dhaka, a couple of days.
I'm sure
later.
there's a level of exhaustion or two.
Well,
It's fine.
some of you.
Well, we have 2 Warforged that don't need to sleep who can ostensibly keep the cart
Yeah.
in the right direction.
Yeah.
I
I think-
Arcane
I
would have
know.
healed back to full within 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen here. Okay, so this can go one of two ways. Either I can deny you guys healing, or I can say that you got a long rest, but you took a level of exhaustion. Because it's really hard to sleep in a cart that's moving at full gallop for 2 days straight.
Brando will take that level of exhaustion.
Um,
Wild's going to take no healing.
Aren't you technically dead?
No.
Wild?
He's at
Like
Wild,
Brando did a whole bunch of heals to everybody.
honestly,
Okay.
of everybody in this cart, Wild looks like he could do that again.
I think I could. You guys, I think we should go back. Never mind. I'm sorry I bonked you, Brando.
that was uncalled for. I apologize.
Well, now that everyone is up, let's go at it again.
well,
What?
Chris, quick talking point.
Yeah.
I think in that dichotomy, I'll technically take the denied healing, at least for the long rest.
Mhm.
Well, Brando used a cure spell on everybody.
Mhm.
That was almost
Yeah.
dead, except for Arcade.
Yeah, you guys.
No,
Yeah.
that's fine, but
You guys
But,
can
I
have
mean-
a long rest if you want it, but you will suffer a level of exhaustion because it will not be the most restful sleep. It will just give you your spell slots and so forth. Yeah.
and so that's why I'm
Brando will
like,
take his slots.
give me a short rest, and
Yeah. You guys have 2 days to get as many short rests as you want.
okay, that is fine then.
Okay. You guys reach the gates of Dhaka midday, a couple days later. You are relieved to see civilization because it means that hopefully you will get a chance to finally fucking take a load off, because the last 48 hours have been just a gauntlet for you guys. a real
Yeah.
test of your patience. People are grumpy. But you made it. You're there.
So we just kind of like
In Dhaka we are. Now let's go and
Okay.
get some sleep.
Well, let's go to the actual palace first, because I do need to check in and report.
mhm.
Not to mention they might have nicer beds.
Is there a way to? Yes, that's nice. Is there a way to track and see if he was following us this whole time?
Well,
Oh,
tracking is
that's what-
usually the kind of thing that he would do in this situation.
Yeah. Oh, but I remember something that Grave said. He was using the sword to track one of us. Wink, wink, me.
I thought he mentioned the bird. Did he not mention gone?
He did.
Bird.
He mentioned bird.
Maybe
said
you
he'd
should
already
call
found the
Bird
bird.
Mom and see if he's dead or not.
Yeah, we were talking about that last week.
You guys
That's-
do have travel time if you want to
Mm-hmm.
make any such attempts while you're on the road.
I mean, honestly, Zakar in character would probably call Bird Mom just to do it. He's like, well,
Mhm.
okay, if we're like have a day to burn,
Just
might as well
just
talk
so
to
we're
a
clear.
deity.
Just so we're clear, Bird Mom is Raven Queen.
Yes.
Okay. Because Ganketsuo does have a mom, so I was very confused for a moment.
Call Gon's mom. Can
Yeah.
Gon come over to play?
I mean,
Khan's dead.
it's while that is true, I'm like Zakar does not have a bird mom except the one. So anyway,
Yeah, you get a hold of the Raven Queen. You get her on the horn. Yeah, go ahead, say something.
okay. Okay. My queen, how are you this day?
Zakar, I am fine. I was dismayed to see Cyrus Brightblade made his presence known in my domain, but for just a moment.
Yes, there was. we had a bad day, but we're able to remedy Cyrus's condition of our own accord. Fortunately,
I'm glad he found his way back.
as am I. But on that subject, I do have to inquire after another soul who may have also had a bad day. The Kenku who was with us previously, Gonketsuo, has he perhaps passed recently?
I remember the bird. She wouldn't say that. What am I saying? Yeah, she definitely remembered him by name. I remember Gonketsuo. I would know his face if it was here. No, I believe he is safe.
Ah. Well, this is very good then. On the subject of other good news, we have been able to contact and ally ourselves with at least 2 more kingdoms in a positive way. 3, actually, if we can count the Shatterkai as a kingdom.
That is
And
good news indeed.
They take the message with trepidation, but also express a willingness to cooperate if what we say is true most frequently. So that's positive for us. Unfortunately, there is also negative in that the town of Fairbrook was overtaken by the what we can only assume is the influence of Asmodeus and his ilk.
I have gleaned as such.
I can only imagine that the death toll was not insignificant.
No. It is a disturbing chain of events.
Yes.
I could say with confidence that Asmodeus definitely has a hand in it. And I'm sure he is aware of what is at stake. So it disturbs me that he would defer the world's attention in that way.
I can't fathom what the motivations thus are, except perhaps the pettiest of vengeance against Cyrus, seeing as how the town was important to him personally, what with his devotion to Bahamut. But I'm sure the world will be, as you say, preoccupied for a time. We ourselves are on our way to Dhaka per a summons, which I can assume is going to be nothing less than a war council on the subject.
The coming days will be a trying time for my domain.
Quite so.
I don't know how much I will be able to help you in the near future if war is on the horizon. But do let me know of any developments.
I'll keep you posted. And if I am being honest, my queen, war does not frighten the likes of we in the slightest. If anything, I would sooner be concerned about what little time you have left.
It's flattering, but I am but one entity. Would that I could prevent the loss of so many lives when I don't know what they're fighting for.
As you say, my queen.
Good luck, Sakar.
Thank you. And apparently I am due at court shortly. As apparently I'm a baron now.
And so the voyage continues. Anybody else have something they wanted to do on the road? So you guys get to Dhaka.
Otherwise, do we have a way to contact Com?
Lots of moping.
You could buy another sending spell.
Yay!
You guys are gonna spend all of your coffers on sending stones.
On radios?
Yeah,
yes.
You guys are gonna make the first telecom network at this rate.
I mean, Brando spent one for the grave callers. He spent some of Zakar's money to get one for him.
Well, those are
we
sending
do have
stones.
one extra for the mayorship.
We do
I'm
have
talking about the spell, the actual spell, because if you don't know
Yeah.
where Gan is, waiting to find him to give him a stone, and you want to know what he's still alive and how he's doing, you just buy the spell and send it to him.
Mm-hmm. Just think real hard about it.
Mm-hmm.
Buy the spell?
Yeah.
Yeah, the sending.
Yeah,
Spell scrolls,
we
they exist,
bought the
dude.
scroll.
Yeah, you can buy a
We've
We've
scroll.
done this before.
Oh,
We've bought the scroll. Yeah, we have done this before in Odenheim.
That's how we found out where your dad was.
okay.
Yeah, it's just not very efficient when compared to being able to just know the spell.
Right. I wish Brando could learn it, but he cannot.
Yeah.
If we all went to chip in to buy a scroll after we get sleep.
Nope.
Okay, never mind.
I'll put some money towards that, Brando. But we should find out what we have to do in Dhaka first.
Mm-hmm. I'm just looking at the other spells, like Sanctuary came in. I'm just going to mutter. You guys continue.
Yeah, it's Zakar leans over to Wilhelm. I was like, all right, take us to the palace.
Yeah, that's where we're going. So you guys beeline straight from the gate to the palace. It does not take long for the guards to realize the nature of the visit.
I mean, I still have the royal summons letter with me
Yeah,
if there's any kind of.
Yeah, and at this point they probably at least know to expect someone who fits your description. They do inform you that there will be a meeting on the following day, and in short, you're basically you're the only person that's invited, because the guards see that you came here with a bunch of people, and they're like, they don't get to come.
Okay. Understood.
But they let you know when to arrive at the castle, and that is all.
All right. Well, guess we'll go find beds.
Beds. All right. So peaceful sleep.
Yep. Let's see. How good is this inn you stay at?
Dude, what, they didn't give us rooms? Or
They
they didn't give us a car at least a room?
No, they pretty much just said be back here tomorrow at this time, and that was it.
We gave you a boatload of money. Go spend it on the commoners, you assholes.
Not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Might as
Invest in the economy. Invest in the economy.
well stay at one of the places that is both closer and nicer.
Something closer to the palace. Little highbrow.
No reason not to.
Sure. All right. So I will. This place you find, which I can't be bothered to find a name for. We're just gonna say 7 gold a night per person.
Deal.
That works. Wait, how much gold again?
7 per person per night.
Okay, so
Deducting 7 gold from the back pocket.
dead.
So everybody pays up. You guys have a very nice stay at a very nice inn.
Nice.
It's probably it's hard to say whether like it's definitely crossed your mind while you guys have stayed at the inn that there might be some other barons working, staying here as well for the same reason. But simultaneously, it's pretty hard to find somebody who looks like, they're in more of the commoner, pay grade. So it could just be, sign of the district that you're in.
True. Oh, on that subject, the party would have noticed that after they all came back, Sakara was definitely wearing something different than his usual murder hobo regalia.
Yeah,
Oh,
you came dressed for the part.
wearing Baron outfit?
Yeah, is this the official unveiling of like Zakar 2.0, like Sith Lord edition?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Unless you guys have any other business.
Topping off my mutagens, that's about it.
Is there a? Do we pass any temples of any sort going through town?
Make a investigation check, or make a perception check.
Perception.
Yeah,
That's
nothing really that jumped
meh.
out at you, Cyrus.
All right.
You were way too tired to be bothered at the time.
Cyrus just mopes.
Yeah. I mean, you're sure that there is one. Dhaka is the capital of this particular kingdom. You're sure there's something devoted to Bahamut in here, and it probably wouldn't be difficult to find.
Yeah. It's not urgent.
I can't think of an example when you would have visited such a temple previously, but you probably know where to find it, or at least how to find it.
Yeah.
So if that's something you want to do, do tell.
Yeah, at some point. Not urgent. Should do other stuff first.
What other stuff do you want to do?
Sleep and find out why we've been summoned here
Okay.
and all of that stuff.
Okay, so next day.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. You guys, there is a lingering thought to a couple of you. Amongst you, at least one of you has probably had the thought that it's like, man, Graves doesn't know when to give up. Like, we could be killed in our sleep regardless.
Mm-hmm.
But simultaneously, it's not very likely, and you're way too tired to care at this point. Way too tired and road weary. It has been a day. It's been a couple days. But the night passes, and you're not dead. As far as you know.
Not anymore.
If you're dead, the afterlife looks an awful lot like the inn you just paid money to stay at.
And all your friends are here.
Yes.
Yep. That's good.
Yeah. You guys wake up, you have a really good, really good continental breakfast here.
Mm. Oh, I'm gonna hand Brando one of my remaining diamonds,
Nope, you keep it.
just in
Oh.
case.
Wait, do you
I've
have
got
two on
two.
you?
I have two more.
You know
Take
what?
one.
If I ever need it, I will get it from you.
What if I'm not there, Brando?
Fine, I'm taking one.
All
We
It's a
should
diamond worth 300 gold pieces.
1 diamond worth 300 gold pieces. Put that on your
All
sheet.
right.
And
It's not like your wallet's up flush with cash and you can't buy any more.
It's true.
so yeah, it's morning. You guys are eating breakfast. Zakar came down from his room in some new regalia.
You look fancy.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, Mazoga and I were working on it because probably better to not look like just another adventurer at this kind of thing, but at the same time didn't want to lose mobility to layers of coats and whatever the hell it is they wear.
Side note, Zakar.
Mhm.
Rogan feels more comfortable in the wild. He would stay outside the city walls unless you directed him otherwise. Up to you.
The wolf might, you know.
Drawn will behave if I tell him. Mostly.
Well, Rogan, you saw Graves up close and personal, which means you know about as much about him as we do. Life in your own hands, buddy. We'll come looking for you when we're ready to leave.
I will know how to find you. And Graves is a considerable opponent. But he is no hunter. Killer, yes. Hunter,
I mean,
The element of stealth is not his strength.
I'm inclined to agree.
Not like he needs it.
Blast the horn when
Tracked
you
us
need me,
pretty good.
boss. And him and Drawn fuck off into the woods.
Yep.
Not too far off from the city gate.
Okay, cool.
That would have happened the night before.
Yeah.
Anyway, as you were. Having breakfast. Bacon, eggs, croissant.
mimosas.
Yep.
What can I make with the alchemy jug? Brando adds some mayonnaise to the breakfast with his alchemy.
Whatever you're eating,
Yeah.
it's got mayonnaise, yeah.
Seriously, Brando, you have that thing, but it doesn't pour like infinite rum or mimosas.
I mean, do you
Or-
want some rum?
It's once per
Man,
day.
Brando can pour some rum from it.
Man,
Tomorrow.
you know what? Sure.
Okay.
Is
instead
rum one of
mayonnaise,
the things?
Brando pours rum.
Is rum one
Alcohol
of the
is,
things?
but notably, it's once per day.
Or beer.
It's
1 gallon of beer?
you. eh,
It's a liquid amount depending on the
yeah, it varies,
yeah, it depends on the thing.
but it does specify that like
God
once
damn
you conjure up your mayonnaise or whatever,
I'm trying to
you can't.
I just googled it and like I'm trying to find the compendium for it and I just get this thread that's like why mayo?
Yeah. It does mention though that once you've used it to conjure up mayonnaise or salt water or whatever, then you can't conjure anything else till the next day.
Right.
That is true. Once it starts producing a liquid, it can't produce a different one or more of the same one after reaching its maximum until the next dawn. So
Yep.
if you start pouring mayonnaise, you can pour 2 gallons of mayonnaise today. If you want to pour something else, you got to wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. Tomorrow we're having beer. Today,
Yeah,
mayonnaise.
and it doesn't have rum, but it does have beer, and it does have wine.
It's weird, but I feel like it should have rum. If it has two other kinds of alcohol.
One of these is higher proof.
Yeah.
One of these can be used as an incendiary device.
Yeah. Also, 4 gallons of beer, 1 gallon of wine.
Huh.
Because trade.
Grapes are expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Economy.
hmm
Anywho,
So, yes. Mayonnaise in our breakfast.
anybody who wants mayonnaise on their shit. That's available.
Mayo on their bacon.
Yep.
Unless he is going to use the whole gallon on his croissant.
I mean-
Croissant. Just dip the croissant in the mayonnaise.
It's a
We could
gallon
use
of
the
mayonnaise.
throughout the day.
But that was 2 gallons of mayonnaise.
2 gallons of mayonnaise.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, 2 gallons of mayonnaise.
That is more mayonnaise than you have any right to consume.
I feel like it would start to smell after a while.
There's enough mayonnaise to feed an army. Literally, feed an army.
Sorry,
Wild.
Tom really dipped bacon in the wet mayonnaise.
Yeah. Wild takes some toast and his full tank shovel, and uses the shovel to spread some mayonnaise on some
Spread the
toast.
mayonnaise.
That works.
It's really good.
Is your toast like the size of the table or something?
No.
You can just use a butter knife.
Says the lady without the shovel.
Yeah, I do not have a shovel. This is true.
See, so you see the flaw.
So, when is your meeting, Zakar?
Yeah, do we like come with you or something, or can I like, no.
No, apparently I'm going this alone because, well, shrug, that's what they said.
Should we be worried?
Probably not.
Should we
I
go
mean-
anyway?
You trust the king?
I mean, he's not going to try and kill me.
Hopefully.
And if he does, you can always just bamf the fuck out.
I was going to say, and even if he does try, he's going to have a real hard time of that.
Yeah, Wilhelm cuts in and is like, I mean, there are definitely some scenarios in which, they might have invited him here just to kill him, but, I mean, they have kind of tried that before. It didn't
Yes.
work. Probably a couple times that I can't think of.
Not to mention, I mean, you remember the courts of the Silverbeards, Cyrus. It's not like they sit around their table with, all of their best friends next to them. So I am kind of assuming this is just standard procedure.
Yeah, they usually don't go out of their way to murder people on social calls such as this one, but, I mean, stranger things have happened.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, honestly, if they do try to kill me, that would probably not be a best case scenario, but probably a lot more interesting and fun than anything that's actually about to happen.
Yeah, honestly, it would make our lives all the simpler.
Not wrong.
So, first day rubbing shoulders with your noble peers.
Come on, Wilhelm. Don't
How do you
say
feel,
that.
Baron?
I really, really don't like that I have to be sober through all of this.
Who said you had to be sober?
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of nobles that have been way more sauced on
Drink
occasions
some
such as
wine.
this.
No,
A little wine won't kill you. If you think that'll
I know.
make
I'm
you
not.
feel better.
I'm not saying it will. I'm saying it won't help.
Well, suit yourself. Look,
I feel like Wilhelm has been around long enough to know that Zakar is no longer capable of being intoxicated.
yeah, right. um, he says, "Well, I mean, don't stress about it too much. I mean, at the very least, it will be boring. I mean, you don't have to chime in if you don't want to. That's the real thing about it. They bring you here because they need to tell you something."
Yeah. Ugh, I don't know which is worse, this or Graves. Zakar gets up from the table and just kind of like starts stalking off begrudgingly.
Maybe you could ask the king about him.
Yours sounds more boring.
Oh, it's gonna come up, Cyrus. It's too big of a sticking point to not.
Mm.
God, I can't wait to murder him.
What does everybody else want to do today?
Be salty about the fight.
Rug.
We're in the home of the Lord Boys. I intend to eat.
This is true. They do have very good chefs here.
Yeah,
His
this
toast
this
Toast is
breakfast.
pretty decent.
Yeah, this breakfast is no fooling. Like this is.
Well, this is like Texas toast.
Yeah, this is. Some,
Wait, excuse me. DACA toast.
yeah, this is definitely
Daca
definitely
toast.
that legendary culinary
Daca toast.
skills that DACA is known for.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out you guys like don't even move for the next 6 hours. This is just what you do.
It just eats.
Eating.
Just eating, shooting the shit in a fucking bar? Hell yeah!
Yeah, I mean,
In a high society bar, no less.
we'll
Yep.
we'll come back to you guys, but if you guys want to do anything on this day, we'll get to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we leave you guys having breakfast.
Mhm.
A very like sobering and like spiritually enriching breakfast. It's just like, oh, after everything that's happened in the past 4 days, this is some good fucking toast.
The toast tastes better. The
Yeah.
drinks taste better.
It's good wine. It's good eggs. It's good bacon. Croissant. Why did I ruin it with mayonnaise? Anyway.
It's gonna be a good day, Tater. Gonna be a good day.
Yep. So, yeah, Zakara, you stalk out by yourself, drinking in your own solitude, as you somberly traipse back to the palace. You are escorted in.
Okay.
Yeah, the guards let you in. There's somebody who shows up to, escort you in where you need to go. And basically you find yourself in a part of the castle you don't recognize, but you suspect that this is a space dedicated to exactly this kind of gathering. There is there's a massive round table here. Presumably big enough to seat like 30 or more barons around it.
Sure.
It has a map of the entire material plane laid out in the middle of it, rather large and prominent. And just kind of milling around the scene is a lot of very well dressed folks. The majority of them orc, with just a smattering of outliers, like things that fall into the greater family of goblinoids. One or two of those scattered around.
A half orc, a hobgoblin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But there's a very strange feeling here, as like they all seem to be mingling, and they do notice you as you come in the door, and when they do, there's definitely that moment of like, oh, it's that guy.
Yeah. I mean, to be expected.
Yeah. It's I mean, if you didn't feel uncomfortable before.
Yep.
Yeah. Now you're not
Yep.
surrounded by any of your friends. And you're just alone with a bunch of people you don't know.
That I am probably not allowed to hit.
Right, exactly. It's like you
guess-
know it's probably not in your best interest to hit people here. But basically, the attendant just kind of leaves you in the room and is like, wait a few minutes, and then you'll be called to sit down, and the hoopla will commence.
Begin. Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Zakar just finds an unoccupied, not seat, but space, and sits down and observes, meditates,
Mm-hmm.
is otherwise calm and present, just trying
Yeah.
not to dread every second of this.
Yeah, you're trying your best just to just to realize, just trying to convince yourself that it's like all your discomfort is all in the mind. You meditate
I'm
slash wait for, it might be, you might have been here for 15 minutes, you might have been here for an hour and a half. Time becomes meaningless when you have nothing to do but think about the situation you're in.
Yeah, Zakar is just in a perpetual state of using the stillness of mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're just trying to blank it all out. You're like, they can fucking do whatever they want. You're just not gonna play their reindeer games. And the thing that interrupts it after, the thing that interrupts your concentration after all this is like, all this time goes by. It's just like the sound of people mingling in the background. It's distressing, but it's just white noise, and you just kind of get used to it after a second. And then after a while, the door opens much louder and more violently than it did when like everybody else entered the room. When they made themselves known. And when it swings open really hard, slams against the wall, and when it does, you hear a booming voice go, "Where is the Baron of Black Ram? Durork owes him a bro hug."
Zakar
Yay.
immediately jumps up and just runs at Jork in the "Oh, thank Raven Queen, save me from this."
Yeah, exactly. And there's a moment. It's very like it. Not a single fuck is given between the two of you. It's like everybody in the room is like, "What did I say?" And both of you are like, like, doing the Beastmaster handshake to the one arm hug, like, It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, and they don't know it. But yeah, so that happens.
It does happen. And I was like, yeah, no, you should come by sometime. We're working on the place, and I was gonna come visit you, but then all this happened, and man. But anyway,
Yes,
how's,
it's quite a lot. Durork was surprised, to say the least, when he heard the news.
no one was more surprised than me.
I'm surprised the king took it as well as he did.
I mean, there's a lot to unpack from top to bottom of this situation, especially after actually getting to look at what was inside the whole loot of Dunham and why it was important in the first place.
Yes, well, listen, don't worry about all this mess. It's all ridiculous, and it's fine. Look, they don't like me either. Durork is loud and obnoxious, and was never one of them to begin with.
No, I'm getting that. But that's fine.
But it's actually fine because technically I outrank all of them.
Neat.
The king hates it. Anyway.
I mean, I kind of get the impression he hates a lot of things.
Yes, but I promise he hates you and I the most.
I mean, yeah, okay.
But the kicker is, he knows we're troublemakers, but what really makes it worse is that he has to deal with us anyway.
Because we get
It's
results.
awesome.
As Durorg and Zakar just kind of whisper to
Yeah.
each other and devolve into childish snickering.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the only cool thing about nobility is that nobody can say anything about it. Anyway, this goes on for quite a while.
Yeah, exactly. Like I could sit here for like another hour
Yeah.
and just have this conversation in character, but I'm like, no, we can move on.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. So you guys bullshit for a while. Eventually, you sit next to Rourke. At one side of the table that is,
Hmm.
in a feng shui way, it makes sense. There is definitely a chair that is that looks like it's of the most importance at this table. Rourke
Clearly.
instinctively sits next to it.
Hmm.
Because presumably the seats next to the king would be him and whoever runs bit stings. It's not important right now, but yeah, you take the next seat right next to him, and you guys fucking snicker like children for a while. Before after another bit of time, a bunch of guards and attendants and the king make themselves known in the room. And one of these attendants, basically ushers everybody to have a seat somewhere. So the rest of the nobles quit their bickering, and the room gets really quiet, and everybody has a seat.
Okay.
And the king has a seat, and his at the table. And as soon as everybody is settled, he looks up to address everybody, and he says, "You no doubt have all heard of the news of Fairbrook by now. As you have gathered, you're all here to discuss this dilemma and the implications it has to the kingdom." And he holds a hand up, and he goes, "General Barak." And then this individual steps forward. And this guy definitely wears a lot of this guy looks like a general in the orc army. He's got some decorations, but he's got some really nice armor too. He's definitely got the look of somebody who's seen some shit. But he steps forward and he addresses this big map that's on the table. And he starts indicating the table as he speaks, and he says, "According to our reports, a sizable military made of various fiendish entities have taken root in the city." I'm in the wrong layer. Boop. They have established a strong staging area within its walls. People of Fairbrook continue to live under the new rulership, but morale among the populace is at an all-time low. It may be too soon to tell, but they don't seem to be making any plans to move out the military for the time being. They have refused our attempts to parley, so we can only assume that their intentions are hostile. We can only speculate on where or when their forces may strike next. There is a slim chance that their current strategy is religiously motivated, in which case they may pass us by completely and drive westward to Glenn's Landing. This would bring Her Empress's forces very close to Odenheim, which Emperor Thunderspine would no doubt lost my place which Emperor Thunderspine would undoubtedly not tolerate in the slightest. For that reason, we don't believe it to be likely. If simple conquest is her goal, then Daka is her most obvious target. I'm alt-tabbing a lot here.
You're
I like
fine.
that.
Yeah.
The flags are good.
They are.
I'm just flexing tonight.
Like we're at a war table.
Yep. It is the intention of His Majesty to rally all able-bodied forces to set up a 2-point siege, which henceforth we will refer to as the Bastion and the Bulwark. The Bulwark of which you can't see because this token is too fucking huge. Just move that out of the way. At this time, we've negotiated with Odenheim for ally and aid. They have been more than willing in light of recent negotiations in which some measure of control of our kingdom was surrendered to them in order to bring our hostilities with Odenheim to a close. It's at this point in that somebody at this table spits on the floor in a very spiteful manner. But Barak continues. He says, Odenheim will be sending a large detachment of soldiers and storm guard to both zones to aid in the defense of our lands. His Majesty Tragslag VII formally decrees that all present at this table today rally as much military assistance to these areas as can be spared. Over the next few days, we will be coordinating with each of you here in Dhaka to direct you to areas in which your assistance will be most effective. Your Majesty? And Barak takes a step back. After Barak steps away, everybody looks to the king like he's, they're waiting on him to say something, but he doesn't even for a moment, he doesn't even look up. He just kind of sits there in silence as he's really thinking about something. And eventually he looks up and his eyes kind of pan over everybody in the room. And he stands up and he says, my father told me one day I would have to inspire my people to fight or risk losing everything. I've lived my whole life convincing myself that we were destined for something more. We didn't need to choose between our own death or our opponents. I swore that he was just a stubborn old man that didn't understand what we were capable of as a people. I never believed him when he called me a coward. I refused. And there's another long pause and a deep sigh. I've done much to keep this kingdom as safe as possible, and I know that not all of you agree with my methods. I know you dislike that I'm in communication with Odenheim to negotiate in which way our kingdom is actually theirs now. Some of you wish for nothing more than to return to our barbaric roots, to see us act as brutes who live moment to moment for worthless concepts like glory, to give you a sense of accomplishment when you win at a competition of your own creation. Strength to prove that you can silence anyone who wish the truth, who would speak the truth that you dislike. Conquest so that you're free to write your own truth in the history books. I still can't even begin to take such ideas seriously. It costs us nothing to get along with our neighbors, but it costs us... It doesn't matter now. What's important is we stop bickering amongst ourselves. Our real enemy is our ability to turn on each other over things that don't matter. We have better things to worry about than who has the sharpest fangs, who leads the deadliest warriors, who raises the tenderest beef, the tastiest brews. What's important is that we can pretend for a moment that we're all part of the same family. Whether we like it or not, we all stand under the same flag. The Empress doesn't care about being friendly neighbors, that much I can guarantee. I don't need to be a seasoned warlord to realize that you don't start a fight that you don't intend to win. She's just as greedy as the dwarves, and she won't stop until it's all hers. The kingdom of Dhaka is the next bump in her road. I don't need to order you to defend your homes. Looking out for ourselves is something that we're all very good at. Instead, I dare issue you this challenge. Be ready to defend your neighbors. Because as much as we all hate to admit it, we are losing at Talon Spell's game as long as we refuse to cooperate with each other. She is planning on destroying ourselves. She is planning on us destroying ourselves from inside out. It doesn't matter how much you hate me, how much you hate your fellows. What matters is that you hate the filthy devils who dare to assume that we are trespassers. I dare say it's time to start thinking like our ancestors. It's time to show our real worth by bringing it to the field. Bring every warrior you have. Bring steel, bring steeds, bring the meat and the grog, bring your spirits, and be ready to show the Empress that the name of the family that controls this coast is Daka. There is a guttural sound that kind of ripples around the table, emitting from one orc to another in rapid succession, like an invisible wave kind of just rolling over the room. You're not sure if it's supposed to be a word or something else. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything to you. But if you had to guess, it's the sound of solidarity. It's clear that not every single individual at this table shares in this, whatever this feeling of camaraderie is, but the king has said his piece, so he sits down.
Okay.
And narrative, that's pretty much the end of that scene. But what will follow is, there will be some more communication with some of the other stewards and stuff, and basically all the barons and stuff that are here will be asked to stay in town for a couple of days, and they start scheduling a meeting that is in, like, your meeting will be scheduled for tomorrow, and we're going to have a sit down and talk about your assets and where we think you should move your troops to so that you can defend that spot. And that's more or less how the meeting ends.
Okay. Is in the proceedings, is there any point where it would be plausible to interject about the presence of graves between here and Blackram?
I mean, if you want to say something at the table, go right ahead. I'm sure there is a lot of talking at the table that I just didn't make read aloud text for, so you go nuts.
Okay, yeah. And now I'm just like, I know, like, that's the idea that I want to convey, but I'm like, okay, now shit, how do I role play that just completely out of context?
Yeah.
Talent spells.
What
Secondhand man.
What would Zakar do?
Speaking of talent spell in this,
what would Zakar do?
WWZD.
Punch can't be one of it.
I mean, it can. It's very probable, actually.
That's true.
Probably as we're beginning to discuss strategy and resources and travel, Zakar would stand up and say, "While I'm fully aware that I am the young upstart in the room and all of you hate me for that reason, the one bit of data that I have to contribute is the fact that I encountered a very particular warforged on the road to Dhaka from Blackram, a Colonel Graves."
That turned some heads.
I can personally verify from both this most recent encounter and past encounters in my adventuring career, he has allied himself with Empress Talonspell and whatever other forces that she may be arrayed with.
as you're explaining that, the conversation goes from like one person being like, "That's bollocks, you would have never survived that," to another person being like, "Graves doesn't even exist. He's a legend." Or we haven't seen him in years, and then another person eventually saying, "No, he very much does exist. I've seen him with my own eyes from back in the war." And then eventually your story being corroborated. It's like, yes, Graves exists. He has always existed. He is still at large, and as a matter of fact, we know he works for Talon Spell. We just don't know why.
I don't know that either, but he was 2 days north of Dhaka. Sits back down.
Yeah. Barak goes, "To be clear, Graves is not a part of this military anymore. If he works with Empress Talonspell, he is an enemy, and he is to be treated as such on the field of battle."
I'm good. We can move on.
Yeah. And yeah, that much is conveyed and understood by everybody at the table. There's a lot of talk back and forth, but after a while, like, everybody's pretty much dismissed, and the meeting goes back to, nobles mingling amongst each other, and talking about the rumor mill and all that.
Yeah.
And
So, Darork. Is there anyone here in particular that I should meet, or should we just...
No.
Yeah, kind of figured you were going to say that.
They have their uses, but there's no real strength in this chamber. Except Barak. That man can kill.
He looks like it. He's the only one here who I think is wearing more teeth than me.
Yeah, he's picked up some trophies. He's been doing this for a long, long time. I think I was but a lad when he got his first promotion.
Oh, cool.
But anyway, fuck
wanna
this
go-
place. Yes.
All right, yeah.
I assume you didn't come here alone, and you have more friends that I want to meet.
No, we definitely got a new friend or two for you. I mean, but we still got Cyrus, Brandon, Brando, and Wilhelm. So, let's go.
Ah, my old friend, Brandon.
Brandon's his code name.
Brandon.
Brando, we gotta go
Brandon.
incognito. Think of
Yeah.
a code name.
That's
Brandon.
my disguise,
Yeah.
Brandon.
I don't think I've ever actually made that little slip up before. It's just like all the names just kind
No.
of sort of mushed together in my
Yeah.
mouth in that moment. So it's
Oh,
like,
oh, yeah.
Zakar's like just so tired of the whole situation. He's like,
Yeah, exactly. He's just trying to speak Orc and whatnot. Oh, also, Chris, I should have mentioned this before we started
Yeah.
the scene. But at level 13, Zakar got Tongue of the Sun and Moon,
Yes.
Which
yes.
which means
I'm
that he
familiar.
just comprehends all languages now and can be comprehended in all languages.
Yeah, I
That's pretty
actually
sweet.
I caught that in passing when
Okay.
I was looking at, because there's another monk that gained a level quite recently. So yeah, I did
Yeah.
I did catch that little bit. It's really cool.
But the reason why I would bring it up is, like, ain't no one fucking saying no Orcish slurs thinking I ain't gonna understand them.
Oh yeah, you definitely pick up a couple of things on the winds, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty much what you expect. It's just a lot of people
Okay.
not taking you seriously, either because you're new to the game or because you
Are not an orc.
You killed your way into it, or you're not of orcish blood, completely, or ignoring the fact that you're not the only person in the room. It's not a big demographic, but you're definitely not the only person here that is not full orc. There's probably a bugbear in the room or something like that, but Darork is well known to not be full-blooded orc, much to the dismay of a
Right.
lot of people in this room.
And so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, that wog on my part
Mhm.
was 100% legit. I really like that speech.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
it was a
like
good
that?
speech.
Thanks. I've been
Yeah.
revising that shit all week.
I did. I like
yeah,
that a lot.
I was cooking into this joke that you guys are working on, where it's like it's Brandon, Craig, Annette, William,
Wanda!
and
Wanda!
William.
My name's Wanda.
They're both William.
It's Wanda.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so Zachary comes back, and he has David
Zachariah.
David in tow. This fell apart.
I am drunk, apparently.
I admit this fell apart. Yeah. Anyway, I actually I'm getting ahead of myself. What were you guys doing while after Zakar left?
Well, Cyrus wants to go take a walk about and find a Bahamut temple, but also question out of character: Can Brando have access to the full Artificer spell list, or is he stuck with what's on?
Oh, right
guys
now I'm
listed.
just limiting myself to the home brewery until I decide to change over. Like
Well, I mean,
like
could
the
you do
whole
both?
Brando. That might be game breaking.
Yeah.
Well, hold. I'm not understanding the question. What do you mean by the whole Artificer spell list?
There's an expanded Artificer spell list. Tiny Servant was a spell that I thought he would have a lot of fun with, but it is not on the list that you put on here. But if you go to D&D Beyond,
Expanded spell
Well,
list.
that's the actual canon Artificer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Wizards of the Coast one,
It-
which
yeah, it's
he's not using.
yeah, it's worth mentioning that the
but you can make
this is a homebrew that we're using, a homebrew version of the Artificer, because we didn't want to. I don't know.
Well, this
There-
was before it officially came out.
Yeah,
But-
also even the official one, I'm not 100% happy with. But I mean, Brando, you make the decision as to what kind of Artificer you want to be.
would adding more spells break it?
I doubt it, but I mean, what are you looking at?
I really think Tiny Servant would be cool.
Okay.
But there was 13 additional spells that were not on the list that he posted.
Yeah.
So I just figured it would give him more to look at if he wanted.
I don't.
It's a Xanathar's Guide spell.
Yeah. I just don't know. I don't know where this.
This should be an after discussion thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll talk
sorry, it
about
was just wondering,
We
but
can
yeah.
talk about it later.
Yep. Yeah, Cyrus is still gonna mope, but if you guys are just gonna hang out and eat all day, he's eventually just gonna be like, well, I'm gonna go for a walk. I'll be back. And he's gonna go try to find Temple of Bahamut.
Okay.
As
Go ahead.
oh, as Cyrus leaves, Wild just looks over to Brando and Arcade and just be, should we I kind of feel like we should follow him.
I feel like we should too. And then Brando has an idea in his head and realizes, yeah, let's follow the frog.
All right.
Feel
Just
free. I'll be
Trust
here
me
when
not to die again.
What was that, Arcade?
I said, feel free to follow the frog. I'll be here when you get back.
Enjoying all the foods.
Enjoying all the foods.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you
Oh,
are enjoying
Arcade, try
it.
the macaroni.
Have the fondue. Mmm.
Yeah. It isn't your grandma's mac and cheese. It's like breadcrumbs on top. It's like crispy. Got chunks of ham in it. Anyway,
All right. So,
anyway, Cyrus,
are you guys?
shortly after you leave, you barely make it around the corner before Wild and Brando come back out of the inn behind you.
Well, are they sneaking, or are they just wait up, Cyrus? Yeah, I figured.
Either
Oh boy.
Sure.
Brando is not sneaking, and Wild appears to be attempting and failing miserably to sneak.
I'm
Wait a
hiding
minute.
behind Brando. Oh,
Yeah.
I pick Brando up.
You pick Brando
put
up
him in
and
front
hold
of
him
my
in front of your face. Yep.
I know those clanks.
Yeah.
Brando gets a cloak and puts it around so he's covering Wild.
Oh, you put it over your face, so I'm covering my face with your face when it's covered up. Brilliant.
So Brando is
It's like my
Brando is Dracula-ing right now in front of Wild's face.
Cyrus turns around and is like, hello?
Why, hello there, good strange.
It is I, the levitating halfling that you've met before.
Yeah, I invited you guys to come. You didn't have to sneak.
Oh,
Did
But-
you want to come to the temple too?
I formed the legs. I
Oh.
put Brando down. It was like, oh god, our ruse
You're-
has been
Brando.
scuffed.
Cyrus awkwardly pats both of you guys on like the shoulders, like you're good friends.
Cyrus, before we do that, let's see. Are you able to undress at the Temple of Bahamut?
Am I what?
Undress.
Oh,
You know, get naked.
Or not fully naked, just...
are
I
you
want to
asking
look at
about
your
my
back.
brand?
Yeah, I want to look at your back, because I feel... You know what? Let's go to the Temple of Bahamut. and
Wild
discuss.
just gives you a side hug, and he just says, "I'm just sad for you because you died, and usually people who die don't get to come back. So I'm very happy that you're back. So I don't want
Yeah.
you to die."
Mhm.
It's been a whirlwind of emotions, huh?
Pat, pat, pat.
Uh,
Pat.
all right, let's go.
We all...
I can wait. Whatever. I promise not to touch anything.
You guys find the Temple of Bahamut in pretty short order.
Is there a bathroom or something?
You can probably find a bathroom at the temple, yeah.
Just like, excuse me, hello, hi, I'm Cyrus Brightblade from the Odenheim Temple of Bahamut. Can I borrow your bathroom for a second?
Yeah, you're like,
Yes.
hey, nice to meet you. I've just come to pay my respects. And Brando's like, I'm gonna take a shit.
Also, Cyrus has to help.
I gotta drop a tiny deuce.
No entrance. Please wait outside until the next participant is finished
Yeah.
in the bathroom.
Like you just stand at ease in front of the privy, and like every time somebody walks by, you just hold one hand out, like no
Move along.
approaching.
Hold on.
Brando, was there a
Hold on,
reason
please.
this had to be done at the temple?
It's just a private place. It could have been done at the inn, but I...
I feel like a temple is a very not private place, but I mean, we're already here.
We're in the bathroom. It's fine.
You get look.
Cyrus takes off the armor.
You guys, wait, hold up. Bathrooms were not that big back then, so
Yeah, this is like an outhouse, right?
yeah, like it.
Brando's
so
a saying?
if you guys need look, they can clearly see that you're a follower of Bahamut. A private room can be arranged. You guys don't have to be like, I have to go to the bathroom, and Cyrus go like, I also have to go to the bathroom. Wild, please watch the bathroom door. Make sure no one
Wild.
comes in the bathroom.
We're just
Fine,
pooping.
Private room.
Hey, listen. This was all off of our own domes. We're smart like that.
Yeah.
Uh,
So private room then.
So you guys,
Oh, hurry up.
you guys
uh,
you guys are showed a room that is not in use.
Okay.
Probably just like somebody's quarters that's not in use right now.
I just
alright.
stand outside that room.
So,
Yeah, I take off the armor. He wants to see my back brand, I think.
can I use an identify spell or something, like examine the back?
I feel like identify only works on.
Magic.
Perhaps an Arcana check.
Or how do I
yeah,
use
uh,
Cyrus's back?
It says you choose one object that you must touch through casting the spell. If it's a magic item or something, okay, yeah. So it has to be an object. I will. Yeah, let's
we
make an Arcana check.
Okay, Arcana.
Yep.
Just to see how the tattoos are doing, because I
Sure.
think they vanished at one point, but are they back?
They didn't
It's gone
vanish,
through
they
some-
healed up, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's gone through some revisions. Okay. It's it's kind of a mess because what happened to Cyrus is he got a thing he got a
Back
brand.
brand?
Yeah, he got a
Mhm.
brand that was basically like it was a seal that indicated like servitude basically.
Mhm.
But it had another brand put on top of it that
Mhm.
was designed to suppress it. And now both of those seem to be inert, and they've just kind of left a scar, like a weird burn scar on his back.
So huh. So it's inconclusive, but it doesn't seem like we're in danger of Cyrus hulking out should he die again.
You don't think there's any like you don't detect
Magic
any
left.
magic left in any of this.
Oh wow. In that case, Cyrus, I think you're in the clear. We don't have to worry about you in areas where you might cause a lot of destruction.
Well, I believe when Asmodeus said I broke the deal, that I was freed of those powers. I hope.
You know Asmodeus, always a liar.
I mean, this is true. Although he is, well, yeah, yep.
So I wanted
Awkwardly putting armor back on again. This
to
takes a while.
because you had died, I wanted to conclude that nothing bad would have happened to you, or the seal wouldn't be broken, or something.
Chris,
Mm-hmm.
did Cyrus get to, like, did he have any visions of anything while he was dead?
Did Cyrus talk to the Raven Queen?
Yeah.
Did Sarah talk about him?
I mean,
Or
Did
the other
Cyrus
guy?
go straight to hell?
what was
Did
That's
that-
kind of the thing.
Oh, you saw fire.
I was wondering if he still has any kind of dibs on Cyrus's soul.
good question, Cyrus.
But he would not know that.
I'm gonna say. You didn't have very long to analyze that situation.
Okay. So he didn't, yeah.
I'm gonna say make an insight check with disadvantage.
Okay. Disadvantage. Ooh, insight. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
what?
yeah. Wow.
Okay, I kind of, okay. Did you guys see the 13 get knocked over
did
into a
see,
1?
I did see that.
I was,
That
but
was
it
silly.
didn't count it, so it's
Three-
It
okay.
didn't.
3D dice tried to fuck you, and it didn't work.
That was amazing.
Yeah. So, 18. Wow. Okay, that's unexpected.
Right.
Yeah.
Did I come back from being dead, being like, I feel like I'm still haunted, or like,
Yeah.
I'm free of the devil?
You definitely felt a pull toward, as all souls are pulled towards some kind of afterlife, arrangement. There was a moment where you're like, okay, this is it, and you were pulled towards something, and it was bright and it was warm. But the closer you got to it, you suspected that it was a ruse. And then it was gone. and you were back on the cart.
So Cyrus has just been feeling very contemplative.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Yeah. Alright. Not sure what to do with that info.
Yeah.
Do you share that information with us or no?
No.
Yes?
Nope.
No.
No.
No?
No.
Cyrus
Okay.
mentions
No.
none of this.
I mean, did you ask Cyrus, what did you see when you died?
Nope.
No, you were just like, well, how's your back? I was like, the back seems to be okay. I think I'm free of this curse.
People don't see anything when they die. People die when they are dead.
It's true. They die when they're killed. That reminds me, I need to go commune with Bahamut briefly. I'll meet you guys outside. I mean,
Okay.
unless you guys want to talk to Bahamut, he's a cool guy.
I don't think we can.
Anybody can talk to Bahamut. You just gotta
But
have the
the
platinum
answer's
dragon
not.
in your heart, Brando.
I have a different god in my heart.
Yeah, I mean, they can share.
They can
Wild
share
doesn't
a heart.
Cyrus goes inside to go pray.
Bye, Cyrus. Wild doesn't believe in gods.
See you, Cyrus.
Cyrus throws a pamphlet at you as he goes inside.
Bahamut Play School. Huh.
Oh, it's like Sunday school.
Exactly.
It's how you learn the beginning. You get to learn. There's a theme song for the kids, to draw them into it. It's like I
Mhm.
want to be the very blessed, like no one ever was.
Dun, 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 dun.
Helping people is my real quest, and justice is my cause.
Wow, 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 wow.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, Cyrus just goes and just briefly is like, "Hey, Bahamut, I died. I made some mistakes. Thanks for letting them bring me back. If you were involved with that,
What's up? What's up, capital B? So,
Yeah.
I died.
yeah,
I fucked up.
Yeah.
some poor decisions were made. That was my bad.
Mea culpa.
How are you? Things are fine here. That's all. He's just checking in.
Okay.
Just give him the status report. Everything still working on the Fairbrook thing, I think. Hey, flail.
You get a very brief message. It just says, "You're doing fine, son. You sprung back from death like a real champion back there. Just be careful. You can't do that forever."
Thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
Dad guy.
Yep.
Yep, that's it. Cyrus leaves.
Okay. You guys return to the inn.
Wait, he
Good prayer?
he hands out friendship tokens as he leaves.
To what? To who? Just people at the temple?
Who looks the coolest? Who's the most important looking Bahamut guy?
God damn it, Ann.
Priest?
Yeah. Papa.
Yeah, who's the
Dragon.
coolest priest?
Papa Dragon Man.
Yeah.
Who's the head dragon of this?
Let's see here.
I gotta make connections. I'm networking. I'm a representative of the Temple of Bahamut from Odinheim. We're trying to do some peacetime stuff. Here's my card. It kind of looks like Bahamut if you squint.
that's
It
appropriate.
also kind of looks like a cat.
So the guy running this place is a kobold.
Oh,
Magical.
Mr. Schnitzel. What?
Zark
McSchnitzeldung.
McZildog.
Yep.
McSchnitzeldung. McSchnitzeldug?
Schnitzel.
Schnitzeldug.
I have a
Schnitzeldug.
good schnitzel here.
Schnitzeldug.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. There we go.
Oh.
I probably
yeah.
spelled.
Fantasy
Just
name
made it.
generators just generated 0 names, and I was like, that's different. It's working now.
We'll call him Mr. McSchnitzeldug.
No, we will not.
His name is
McSchnitz?
Clark Popeman.
McSchlitz?
It's none of those things. Like I'm affirming that you guys have a lot of ideas, and I'm also affirming that they're all bad ideas. And you should all feel bad.
What about Bonald Dragon Boy?
Aw.
Bonald. 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 That's what we're going with.
Do his friends call him Bono for short?
No, they call him Nald.
You know what? Fuck it. It's Bono the kobold. I'm
Ronald.
putting that encyclopedia. This is on your heads.
Alright, Bono.
Bonald, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm out of the temple in Odenheim. Here's my card.
And you give him a friendship
Please take
token?
this token of
Yeah.
Please take this token of friendship. This is a fine temple. You've done good work here.
Well, thank you. Go with Bahamut's blessing.
Thank you, and to you. And then I jazz hands out of the scene. That's all.
Okay. So his name is Bono or Bonald?
Bonald.
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 No, we can go with Bono. Bono's good.
I-
Bono.
I was originally gonna call him Ronald,
Right.
but then I was just like, no,
Bonald.
Bonald.
Maybe I should make it two
Well,
N's.
it's like Bonald.
I feel like I should make it two N's for Bono. Otherwise, like, I'm gonna read this later and be like, who? I made a character named Bono? When did this happen?
Right?
All right.
Cyrus meets you guys out on the street.
His name.
It's like, well, I am done.
His name is
Bono.
Bono. Don't forget, you guys have an encyclopedia that I'm leaving.
I am
you to-
updating it right now.
All right, good man. All right.
What is Bono's last name if he has one at all?
He does not. He's a kobold.
Okay, he's a kobold. He's Bono.
Well, that was my business. Did you guys want to go sightseeing or anything?
Should we see if Zekar is back at the thing right now?
That's true. And we should go
Yes.
check on Arcade.
All right, let's go and check up on him.
I could go for lunch.
And you guys return to the inn. Meanwhile, back at the inn, Wilhelm's like, "So, Gringon, huh?"
Yes, Gringen.
Yeah, I've been there a little bit. It's cold.
Terrible place.
Is it really?
It depends on whether you live there or you work there. And quite frankly, I work there and live there. There are things that come down from the hills at night that can run a man's blood straight cold faster than the winter wind. It's the entire reason the orders exist for the witches. Vividas weren't made lightly. We've never been able to figure out what exactly these things are coming from. But they're bloodthirsty, they're ruthless, and they're nasty. Getting permission to go down the hill and do some adventuring was actually more of a vacation than anything else. And I don't mind home, but I don't like working there.
Wilhelm takes that all in silently, and he's like, I'm gonna be real with you. That got, it got deeper and darker than I expected that conversation to go.
Like everything in life, there's the surface and the underbelly,
I know all about that, sister.
right? And a tourist would go to Gringon and be like, oh, this is a nice little community of druids and Goliaths, and isn't it so nice that these large people have such large houses in this tall mountain, and they wander off. The larger you are, the larger the predator that likes to eat you.
I don't know. I've gotten pretty
So-
good at hiding.
Yeah, I know, right? So this Graves fellow, what's his fucking story?
Wilhelm's face gets way more somber when you bring up Graves.
I mean, I'm used to walking nightmares, but he is
A walking
A yawn.
nightmare. I know. Yeah.
a walking nightmare.
Yeah. No, that's it. That's the long and short of it. He's always been well, to his credit, he's very good at the one thing he was asked to do.
Murder.
Yep.
Any idea why he's working for Talonspell?
Oh God, I wish I knew. He shouldn't be working for anybody. None of us. None of my people should be working for anybody. I mean, Maybe he just needed somebody to tell him what to do. Maybe he didn't know any better.
I mean, not to sound speciesist, but he didn't strike me as being a Warforged. He looks and acts completely different than those
Yeah.
that I've met.
Well, you're not wrong. There's a lot of rumors. It's kind of assumed that he was the first one off the line. The word prototype has been thrown around a bit, and that might play a part in his eccentricities. But suffice it to say, it makes him an unpredictable fellow. None of us can claim to understand anything he does. It's both fascinating and terrifying. Like, I am no longer fascinated to the point that I want to ask him what's going on in his brain. I am just happy to see him gone at this point.
I understand.
God knows what that's going to take.
Well, obviously more than us.
Yeah.
I consider myself to be fairly resilient, and it's been a long time since I've been trounced that badly, that quickly. And seeing how fast and hard he was even able to lay into Wild, seeing our dear Baron go at him hammer and tongs and be rebuffed.
Honestly, I'm very surprised Wild was able to stand his ground for that long. I've watched Warforged that size get cut to ribbons.
Honestly, I think we were being looked after. I don't think we should have gotten out of that alive.
Yeah, well, to expand upon what the Hobgoblin said, there's a lot of things Graves can't do. He doesn't think rationally 100% of the time. I mean, it makes him unpredictable, but it also makes it so that you can game his behavior to a degree, you know. Yeah, he can't sneak up on you, but also if he's not there to kill you, he's not, then you got nothing to worry about.
The trouble's when he's in your grill, huh?
Yeah. I mean, he only has so much in the way of abilities to, like, rationalize and track people down and, you know, tasks with nuance to it.
Are you literally saying he is a blunt tool, but a very good tool for certain objectives?
Yeah, there's some accuracy to that statement. I would say he's a very, like, every tool is a hammer kind of guy. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Or maybe it would be more accurate to say every problem is a nail. And he is the hammer. I'll think on that. Yeah, and it is at that moment that the three of you come back from the temple.
That was a good one.
I don't know, the way he behaves, it's almost as if he sees the entire world as a nail and he's the self-proclaimed hammer of God.
Sure. Or maybe like every problem is a nail, but he is very good at cutting nails in half. I don't know.
Hey, how's it going?
This whole thing's starting to fall
What you
apart.
guys talking about?
Oh,
Did you guys know that I can hammer a nail in with my head?
I did. I could have guessed.
Look at
I
that, buddy.
wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, would love to see that.
Oh, boy. Who has a nail?
Is the car back yet?
Not yet.
Brando hides his
Ooh,
Good.
lunch.
Now it's lunchtime. You guys have been sitting at the same table for like 2 hours through breakfast, and now lunch is coming out.
Cyrus would like to order an alcoholic beverage.
See, the orcs have created this concept called the staycation. It's where you just pay a lard boy to bring you so much food you don't want to move.
That sounds actually really nice.
It has been amazing. It was expensive, but you know what? Worth it.
Cyrus, did you say that out loud?
That you would like to order a drink?
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
He's waving down whoever's like a waiter. I assume there are waiters in this
Wilhelm
place. Like,
Wilhelm fumbles and drops his fork.
can we also get a fork with that?
No, fork's fine, man. Are you okay? He looks around to
I'm fine.
Brando and Wild. He's like, "What happened to the temple? What have you done with Cyrus?"
I'm fine.
We made him get naked.
Well, that part was a little awkward.
His
Not fully naked.
his
Look,
ocular.
I'm not sure if that makes it better or worse, Brando. What were you doing?
We don't need to talk about it. It's
Jack.
fine.
The tattoo on Cyrus's back.
Have you desanctified the frog? Is that something I need to know?
I stood outside.
Does Arcade know about the whole thing?
How
I
about
think
what?
Arcade doesn't know very much.
About the brand? No, I don't think Arcade.
Yeah, I don't
knows
think Arcade
anything
knows
about that.
Anything about that?
Okay.
It was she joined right after I broke the deal with Asmodeus.
Mhm.
I wanted to make sure that Cyrus used to have a problem.
Listen,
and
we
now
don't
Cyrus
no
does not
Brando.
have a problem.
Yeah, Wilhelm.
Brandon, we don't have
Wilhelm
to
was
talk
like,
about it.
"Yeah, look, that's all. It's old news. All right, it's behind us.
Yeah, it's behind us now.
Like Graves, problems we will never have to even speak of again because they will never come up.
Yeah. So about that drink.
Oh yeah, please.
One hard lemonade for the frog,
Yeah,
please.
yeah, and drinks are acquired.
Wild just remarks, well, all Wild knows is that Graves is technically used to be my superior. But, I don't know. He keeps thinking, I think maybe he thinks the war is still on. I don't know. I don't know.
Dude,
At
Definitely
the very
seems
least,
like he can control you through the orders he gives, and is very disappointed when you don't behave.
he is very insistent upon that I follow those directions. Joke's on him. My old CO tried to do that too. Wilhelm, you were in the war, right? Did your CO tell you to do stuff that you didn't do?
Yeah, I mean, I think that just happens in war. That's just a war thing. What the CO doesn't know won't kill him.
Oh, that's fair.
do you know why? Do you know how Graves ended up with Talon's spell in the first place? I mean, he was working for the orcs before, correct?
Graves made. There was quite a bit of ceremony the day that the shackles came off, so to speak. And we were all given our freedom, and all of us were happy and cheering in the streets. It was a day of jubilation for all of us clankers. But you know, as could be guessed, Graves had no reason to be happy about anything. He was very confused about the whole concept of not having a war to fight and not having orders to follow or anything like that. But he brooded about it for like 3 days straight, and then he turned and walked without saying a word to anybody, and that's the last we heard of him until, you know, we dragged you guys out of.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Until the murder.
Uh,
I mean, I had assumed Graves was still at large because something like that just doesn't just disappear, but gotta
Maybe we
say,
should-
old Wilhelm didn't see this one coming.
I thought he would be living in a dragon.
You mean,
Maybe-
having been eaten by a dragon?
No. He murdered a dragon and is then living inside of the dead dragon.
Honestly,
he seems that kind of badass.
honestly, that seemed more likely to me that he would have built a house out of a dragon. Yes, I could see him retiring in, you know, Dragonville. Draco.
Dragon scales would look good on him.
Yeah, Draco Vale. He could call it something like that. I don't know. He's not that clever.
No, he'd probably name it something like House.
Yeah, yeah.
Who would do that?
I am enjoying the
Sandwich.
Warforged war stories.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Side note, by the way, this Wilhelm wouldn't be, this is not a secret, but Wilhelm technically, I mean, assuming rank still exists, which it doesn't, Wilhelm does outrank you, Wild, because he is a lieutenant.
Ah, cool. I am only a private.
Yeah.
Mm.
You're not sure
I
how
like-
he did that because you know Wilhelm's not a combatant. Like, you could break Wilhelm over your knee, but
He's got a big brain and
he-
does speak very prettily.
Yeah, and he's somebody that every Warforged knew, and probably in some capacity owed in some in some way, shape, or form.
Oh yeah, he got me out of the brig like 4 times.
This guy could not stay out of the brig. He loved the brig. The brig
My
sucks.
CO kept telling me not to attack, and
That's just silly.
Yeah. just nonsense. It's just insane.
It's like telling Graves not to attack something, right?
Is what we agree on.
It's just a waste, right? Anyway, the braying and neighing of barnyard animals continues for a couple hours until Zakar and Darork come back from their noble duties.
Hey!
Zakar, actually, Darork probably comes in first. He's like, "Is this where you're staying?"
Yeah.
Kicks
That's where we're
the
at.
door open. Darork, up in this piece. Hey, I know those malcontents. Your chieftain requires a hug.
Darork, it's good to see you again.
It is very good to see you,
Long time
pals.
no see.
Yep, hugs all around.
Tactical Brando toss.
Yeah. Ah.
Catch the
Wild
halfling.
tosses Brando at
Catch the halfling.
York and Brando
Flying hug.
Yep. Brando gets tossed around a little bit, hugged, tossed to somebody else, hugged, so on.
Do you have any of
This
those
goes on for
amazing sour
several
biscuits
days.
on you?
Has Darork met Arcade? I forget.
No.
No, not
Um,
at all.
Yeah, but
Darork, this is our friend Arcade.
Has Rourke met Wild?
Yeah.
No.
Briefly?
No.
no.
You got the gauntlet
Hasn't
from
met
him.
either of you guys.
Wait.
How did you get the gauntlet from him if you didn't meet him?
They were mailed.
Yeah, they were mailed to the plank.
Yeah,
for
we got these in a
us.
package.
That is a good question. Yeah, no, I don't think he has.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so at some point during all of this, like, Wild is throwing Brando back and forth between Darork, and he's like, "Hey, nice to see you, Brando. Who is this person who is throwing Brando around?"
Yeah.
He is known as the Brando tosser.
His name's
No, his
Wild.
name is Wild.
Hi, my name's Wild. I catch Brando and then just put him down.
Yeah.
He replaces that gap that Vilmac left when he died.
No one can replace what action.
Yeah, Darork gets really sad when you say that. He's like, "To be clear, nobody replaces Vilmac.
I don't even know who Vilmac is, so I can't possibly replace him.
He was a
You know
national
that
treasure,
statue?
soldier."
You know the statue
How do you-
outside the
Oh,
plank?
that's right. He is the statue outside. I
Yes, now
read
he
his
can steer to
plaque.
people forever.
I read
Yeah.
his plaque like 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I didn't understand it, but I read it.
We will have
He was-
many rounds this evening, but the first one is for Vilmac. Darork apologizes,
Hey.
madam. To what does Darork owe the pleasure?
No pleasure owed. My name's Arcade, and I recently signed on with these malcontents.
That is quite the ride in front of you. He gives you a very strong handshake.
Yes, it's already been quite bumpy.
The ride to
Yeah.
where? What? What's happening?
Cyrus, the road of life.
Oh,
Yes. Why is
metaphors.
it that Wild understands this colloquialism and the frog does not?
I was gonna say, like, several of us just like look at Wild, just like
Yeah,
just
There-
quizzically, like, how did you understand that?
yeah, and there's
You know, Cyrus, there is a saying that I have been thinking of. In the
Uh-huh.
end, are we all not all dust in the wind?
That's a pretty good saying. I'm really impressed. You're actually a philosopher.
Oh, gosh.
after
Shut up, Cyrus. I push Cyrus over.
yeah, completely over onto the ground, chair and everything.
My lemonade.
Yeah. Durort comes back with another round of drinks. There's a moment where he's handing drinks to everybody, and he hands one to Wilhelm, and he's like, "Ah, Wilhelm, good to see you." And Wilhelm toasts him with his mug and goes, "Chieftain."
Hell
Yeah.
How's it going, Jork?
Oh, let me
How's-
tell you, it sucks.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just in general, or like for specific reasons?
Yeah, just in general. I mean, I definitely miss traveling, and you know, the adventuring life was a lot of fun. And now I have to, there's decrees and parchments and things, and
Politics.
writing things down. Delegating's very boring.
It sounds like it.
I hired someone to do that kind of thing already.
Oh, so what did the king want to see you for?
Yeah, what did they want?
Fairbrook.
Ah,
Are they
stand
like...
it.
Yeah.
Attention.
Yeah, they get way more. Both of them get way more somber when you bring that up. And Durok just leans back with his drink, and he's like, "Looks like we'll be moving out troops soon."
Doc is
Zak-
also attacking.
Zakar pulls out the map, points at like the two rallying points of where we don't know where we're going to be assigned yet, but we'll be moving with as much people and resources and steel as we can. And
When?
I have the logistics meeting tomorrow.
Ah. That is good news, though, right?
It gets weirder though. The
Go on.
dwarves apparently made a deal.
Uh-huh.
The deal being they get part of Dhaka lands or something.
Yeah, Durok cuts in. He's like, "It's not quite that simple. Let me just, for solidarity
there you
here.
Yeah.
The big golem that was in town a while back. That made Odenheim's strength extremely known, and Daka pretty much had to throw in the towel at that point. But that's not a decision that Daka made. That it wasn't without cost. I don't know the details. You'd have to ask the king about that. But suffice it to say, Odenheim does have some percentage stake in Daka's territory now. It's not something I understand, but
in exchange for support in this matter, in addition to general peace terms, Durork,
Odenheim
and
is just
so forth.
Odenheim is just looking out for what it believes to be its own territory now.
But they will help.
They are helping.
Dwarves,
Skyguard and all.
dwarves love
Ugh.
fighting almost as much as we do. They'll be there. Should be a good time.
Hmm.
Oh, very much so.
Should I should we tell the units that we're trying to recruit to come meet here then?
No, because I'll have to march over there anyway.
Oh, okay.
We won't be here long enough to coordinate with them.
Mhm.
All right.
But we have
So-
one more day here. So spend it how you like while I have meetings and shit.
Dork suggests drinking.
I don't have any better ideas.
And eating. The eating is not to be missed out on.
Oh,
it
I-
is
Do that all day.
Pat's tummy and unbelted tunic pantaloon.
Yeah, just
Yep.
undo one button.
Yes, but it's wild, so it's really more of a clang clang.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I pop a rivet.
Yeah. Poink. Yeah. It's like a boiler at capacity.
But yeah, as we feast and fuck around, Wild just kind of asks, "Hey, so like, with the Fairbrook thing, Zakar, can I be in the? Can I be in the? Are you gonna be murdering people too? Can I murder people there? Or can I be back in the army?
We're going wild,
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay.
and we are going with the support of the Orc and Dwarf kingdoms behind us.
Gotcha.
Oh shit! And Zakar starts rifling through his pockets, pulls out the red sending stone, the one to Mazoga, and kind of sort of shouts into it, "Mazoga, hey, are you alive?"
Yeah, boss. What's up?
Oh, okay, great. Thank Raven Queen. Okay, so don't be alarmed. But if a highly angry, highly lethal warforged show up at the manor, don't fight it.
He killed Cyrus.
I got better.
Well,
He got better.
well,
Everyone just
respect,
shouts in the sending stone.
respectfully, Baron, what am I supposed to do if he shows up?
I
Running is
recommend
good.
what?
Running is good.
Yeah, running's
Hiding?
good. Rolling over, playing dead, also good.
Telling him whatever he wants to know to an extent.
Telling him whatever he wants to hear. That's staying alive. That's the plan. That's what you're supposed to do, Mazoga.
Understood. You have any good news?
Oh yeah. We're marching to war on Fairbrook, and the dwarves are helping.
Forgive me, Baron. You have a strange definition of good news, but yeah, okay.
It's fine. Believe me, this is the way better alternative than like leaving Fairbrook to the demons.
Understood.
But okay, so like any news from back home? Are things okay? How are the plants?
Actually, the vineyards are coming in quite nicely. Actually, I'm surprised. We might be able to start packaging some stuff in maybe a month or two. I don't know.
Oh, that is fantastic. Hey, tell Davin to start finding people to recruit for fighting and job stuff. We're gonna need people.
Okay. Anything in particular? You hear a scrambling of like parchment. Anything in particular you're looking for?
Kind of sort of everything, if I'm being honest. We need bodies, we'll need bodies, we'll need food for the bodies, we'll need steel for said bodies, so on and so forth.
Right.
We need...
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I know what to look for. I'll talk to him. We'll figure something out.
Okay, great.
Sounds like it's gonna be an interesting few weeks, months.
Oh, and get into the coffers and start working with Mazak to start building up the barracks, because we're gonna need that too.
Yeah, we've actually had one or two troops moving in, but the barracks are coming in. So yeah, we'll probably start training in the next couple days here. Actually,
Well, fantastic then.
yeah.
I have one more day here to discuss logistics, but otherwise we'll be on our way back shortly.
Fantastic. Hey, bring me back
All
some
right.
of those power biscuits I keep hearing about.
Oh,
Okay.
If you don't mind, sir.
No, absolutely. I'm I know a guy, and I'm looking at him right now. Say hi, Dorork. I just hold the rock over to him.
Dorork welcomes you, mystery woman. And there's a pause, and you hear, Dorork Uzod, the chieftain.
Oh yeah. No, we're friends from the adventuring days. We helped him take back Watchets, back when that happened, and the whole thing with Captain Nash.
Dear Lord, by Grumsh, nothing should surprise me anymore. Pleasure meeting you, sorta, chieftain, sir.
I just imagine Zoga's face over there in
Oh,
Black
yeah.
Band where she hears that.
You
Yeah,
could-
it's like that scene from Spaceballs. It's like, assholes. Dear God, I'm surrounded by assholes.
Yeah,
ew.
yeah. You can only
Keep
imagine.
firing assholes.
You can only imagine just a cornucopia of emotions over her face.
I like Mizoga.
I
Yeah.
love Mazoga. Mazoga went on a face journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Some would call it a voyage.
A face odyssey.
There was a beginning. There was a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yeah, yeah. Where we started is not at all where we ended up.
Mm-hmm.
There were moments of triumph, of deep sadness, challenging
Yeah.
days.
Adversities, yeah. Oh, but she weathered the storm. It's okay.
Mhm.
God, as you finish up that call, Wild's just like, oh, God, like, what do we do though tomorrow? What do we do?
We could go see the town.
Oh.
We could go sightseeing. We could train. We could try to recruit some people.
Hmm.
We could drink.
I look over at Wilhelm.
Hmm.
Do you think it would be a smart idea to see if maybe we can get an old group of Warforged together?
I think that would be a fantastic idea, Wild, but I also would never presume to press them into service ever again.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
The
I-
thought did cross my mind.
I mean,
I'm more bloodthirsty than most, but
I mean, there's plenty of Warforged that are not, salty about, their relationship with Daka. I mean, people like Wild here, despite how you feel about the crown, more than happy to fight for the right reasons. I mean, if Tirfang really
Especially when
wants
paid.
to, if Tirfang really is just wanting to own everything, then there's something to be said about any enemy of my enemy.
Actually,
fair enough.
Wilhelm,
Actually?
would you say you happen to know a fair number of Warforged from your army days?
Oh, sure.
Those
I'm-
that enjoy fighting and those that don't?
I mean, I'm not personally in contact with a lot of those folks, but I know a fair number of Warforged, and I do know how to find people. If
Maybe put a bug in a few ears that even if the Warforged do not want to join in on this new battle, logistics are incredibly important to an endeavor of this size.
oh yeah,
And
sure.
having a logistics company that does not need to sleep to navigate the roads would be an incredible boon
Oh,
to
yeah.
move things faster.
that was the idea when they made us in the first place. There's a lot of benefits to having an army of people that don't require resources of any kind.
Well, we have to set up some context in the logistics corps. For those who don't want to fight directly, maybe see if they'd be willing to join a volunteer group to help move things around logistically again.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the cart boys. They haul the cart.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll see if. I mean,
As I imagine, like you said, those that were not quite pleased being pressed into service of battle, if they still do want to help, this would be a very, very valid method for them to do so.
oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I intend to be among them, for my part. I mean,
Right on.
it's pretty well known fact that I was garbage in combat, but I mean,
You have other skills.
yes, we're all gifted in different ways, as it turns out. I am incredibly lovable, for instance.
No, this guy.
Yep.
Not as lovable as you, Chieftain. And he slaps D'Rourke on the arm.
Wilhelm. Sorry, out of character. Wilhelm still hasn't delivered that stone to.
No, you guys. He hasn't been out of your sight since you gave it to him. So
Right. Yeah, so he's just hanging on. Never mind then.
he's probably going to be heading out at some point in the near future.
To go.
Yeah.
All right.
And
And
you
then,
suspect I mean, he doesn't say as much because he doesn't, you know. You guys understand how Wilhelm operates at this point, so it's one of those things where he's like, I'm not going to say it out loud, but you guys know what's in my future.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um,
All right, I guess. Well, you spread your word. Maybe I'll go see if I can convince people. How do I do that?
as I said, Wild, we all have our own gifts. If they're not convinced by your ability to, you know, bench press a displacer beast, then just leave it for somebody else. It's fine.
No, that's fair.
It'll
Fair.
all sort itself out. Don't worry.
Displacer beasts are very dissatisfying to bench.
They keep
All their weight over
disappearing.
here, but their weight's over there. Very unbalanced.
Very hard to bench.
And
When you get a handle on it, it disappears. God damn it.
Yep.
Drork sticks in and he's like, Drork is curious. It, with the exception of, and he motions to Wild. He's like, none of you have been on the battlefield, correct?
No, not myself. No.
Battle?
That's like warriors.
Oh,
like army.
Drork's mistake. I know, you can all fight. It's
Wasn't
war
Zakar
is
in the
very
military?
different.
Army?
Yes, war is a very different thing. I mean,
Mhm.
I know that
War changes.
one or more of us are in leadership positions now, but where do the rest of you intend to stand when this goes down?
We're trying to build an army.
Yes, I know. Drork
Eh?
knows. But where will Cyrus Brightblade be when the charge begins?
With them, I assume.
I will be
He
right
nods.
beside Cyrus in the front lines, running very quickly.
Yeah, Drork nods like,
I'd like to be in the front lines, but I think with my skills and stuff, I should be supporting the front lines. I will happily do artillery and healing.
Yeah, perhaps on like a nest of some kind where you can snipe from. Some kind of shooting
Pichu, pichu.
perch.
Shooting perch.
That be known, Brando shot first.
Oh, Brando did shoot first on multiple occasions.
All day, every day, sometimes to a fault.
Sometimes he even hits. Not very often, but sometimes.
Oh man.
Need to work on aiming system.
Yep.
Find a way to get more accuracy out of that long arm of yours.
I mean, on the plus side, if I roll a 1, I get to re-roll.
Roll? What is this rolling you speak of?
I...
Gambling?
Reality bends and rewinds 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Brando, you should practice kinesthetics and just like hold your gun out as
Yeah.
long as you can.
Yeah, maybe talk to your old man. I'm sure he's got some ideas. He's full of crazy shit like that.
I'm surprised you know what kinesthetics means, Wild.
Well, it's a
Okay, I will do
philosopher.
that.
Cyrus is now a little tipsy.
They're
philosopher.
very tipsy.
That's why he knows all about kilos.
Wild knows all kinds of stuff, you guys. He's so smart. Everybody's so smart.
Can I use an athletics check to? No. I don't even want to.
A wild warrior poet appears.
Yeah, what's your lift and carry, Wild?
Oh god. Okay, listen, my lift and carry. Very intrigued to tell you all the. God. Strength score times 15 times 2 for counting as large times 2 for counting as barbarian.
Fuck me.
I just heard that as the entire team. Got it.
Is that a house? Is it a house?
As long as I am raging, I pick up close to about 2,200 pounds.
You can almost lift a ton.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
Like-
no, math. Math is hard.
All right. I think I
Yeah, you
Over.
you can lift a ton.
So it's, but you know, granted, I use that sparingly.
Mhm.
It's even crazier when you. That's pick up over my head. By the way,
Right.
that isn't including push or pull, which is actually like a times 40 to my strength score or some crazy shit like that.
Wow.
The question is, what does that do to throw?
Hmm.
Because with that knowledge, Graves should have gotten some serious airtime.
Oh yeah, you fucking yeah,
I yeeted him.
yeah.
Oh, I think that was accomplished by, normally speaking, I would only get to place him on one side of me, but I technically threw him like 3 squares
Yeah.
to get him off the bridge from where I was at.
I mean, I'm going to be rewriting a lot of those rules because not all of it is on the level. But yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you definitely threw him at least three squares.
Yeah, but yeah, that's how strong Wild is. Very, I very much like these fancy gloves. Durok, thank you very much for these gloves, by the way. Who is he?
Oh, it's not until that moment that Darok realizes you're wearing the gloves, and he's like, "Oh, you gave them to him."
Yeah.
Made the most sense at the time.
Well, good then.
Flexus.
You'll he kind of leans in. He's like, you'll have to let me know, big man, if it tells you anything. He's been holding out on Darok.
Hmm.
Oh, what didn't he tell you?
He says, there's a pause. He says he knows where my family is, but he refuses to tell Darok.
Wild puts his hands in his armpits. You can't listen.
There you go.
I'm sorry that he had. I'll see if I'll put in a good word. He's very, very fond of murder, so I'm hoping that, like, this next time when we go into Fairbrook, yeah, Wild will make good friends with him. But Wild will remember to ask. Thank you for telling.
And Darok nods.
Ah,
Someone lighting a
This will-
firework?
Macross attack.
It's Kevin's phone.
Yeah.
Makes,
Ah.
makes Macross noises, Gundam noises.
It's the
Gundam.
Gundam Radar.
It's,
Gundam.
It's Gundam noise.
My bad.
Fucking
That's-
dolphin
Large robot
motors.
pay-per-views.
Yeah,
It's that dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
it's
Yep.
Yeah.
it's 80s anime bullshit. Yeah.
Damn, that's why I thought it was a bottle rocket.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Now, see, you hear bottle rocket, like, I hear a porpoise.
Everyone has a different reaction to that sound. But the reason I use it is I've played so many games for Gundam. When that radar beep goes off, it means there's a new enemy sighted. Pay attention, stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
it works great as a text alert for me.
It makes you be like,
Mhm.
Oh
oh,
my gosh, we want
Yeah.
my fucking attention.
Enemy alerted? What?
yeah,
Enemy alert.
Oh my god, it's a real life alert
yeah.
spell.
It's like
Yep.
it's like a conditioning, exercise. Like, whoa.
Did someone ring a bell? I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Dr. Pavlov, is that you? What
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
have you done with your hair?
Oh man.
Cyrus
But-
drinks.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, and then,
Much
revelry
drinking
is
happened.
had,
revelry
and,
is had.
the-
You're the one piece
Yeah.
party.
Mm-hmm.
after a couple more hours, the car goes in the kitchen, is like, hey, where are my large boys at? Hey, I need one of y'all. Like, who needs a job in Black Ram?
Interesting. Are you attempting to hire an artisan right now?
No, actually, when I had this idea, 30 minutes ago, I was like, oh, what kind of artisan would a lard boy be? Answer, none of them.
The cook wouldn't be an artisan?
There's no such thing as a cook.
Yeah, there technically isn't.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what bonuses you could get from having a cook, but
Honestly, it's just off the top of my head right now. I'm like, if it were like a matter of like a discount towards
I have it.
building an establishment onto my keep,
right,
like that's the only thing I can think of.
sure.
I have something for you,
Please.
if I may. A reduction in percent or whatever of unit upkeep in that province.
I thought about something like that, either upkeep or morale, maybe.
Yeah, or
Morale, definitely.
Yeah, well, let's do this. Let's have Zakar make a persuasion check.
Okay. Yep. This is a D20. Nope.
Ooh.
The Lard Boys apparently have a sense of honor and decline your offer to move on to greener pastures.
I mean, they probably make really good money cooking for all this high society, so, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in a nice restaurant. Or a nice inn.
Yep.
And I say to them, all right, well, I mean, if any stray lard boys cross your way, send them to Black Ram.
Yeah.
exits kitchen,
Yep.
ladle
Finger gun.
thrown.
Yeah.
All right. Well, merriment is had, and if it's not already apparent, the DM is running out of material. So,
Do we need
Well-
to go, do we need
That's
to jump
Call
to
it?
the meeting tomorrow, or are we just done?
I think we're gonna call the session done for now, and spend some time off camera talking about some behind the screen type shit.
Okay, I want to do a thing real
okay.
quick.
Yeah, if you want to get any role playing out of your system, now's the time.
Sorry.
Okay.
Well, heavily drunk. Cyrus is gonna be like, Wild,
Yeah, Cyrus.
I died. Wild, you could die. Before, didn't you have? There was people you wanted to. Didn't you want to find some people at some point?
Very much. Yes.
What happens if you die before you find them? they're not gonna be found.
Well, unfortunately, Cyrus, that is the cost of my choice.
Your choice.
I choose to go do the things that I love, such as fighting and, adventuring. Mostly with you guys, though. I didn't really think I'd like it, but I give Cyrus a hug.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, he's
Uh,
been pretty. Not
but-
gonna lie, I didn't like a whole lot of people I was in the army.
Hmm.
Well, you guys are all really swell.
Yeah, we're pretty cool.
Hmm.
Well, what if Nurse and Toes and Beans could fight with you, or fight beside you?
That would be lovely. But I still don't know where they are. And,
I thought we did know where they were. Do we
well,
not?
No.
I mean, no,
We don't.
not-
Did we
not-
wreck on that?
Not really. Yeah, yeah, kind of. So basically, what happened, Cyrus? I know you're drunk. Listen, I know when we did that spell, you thought you might have been able to see her, but I don't think it
It
worked.
was a dream.
And
Got it.
because it broke, and
Yeah.
so maybe she might be off plane, but I mean, maybe she got caught up by the centaurs into the Mechanicus.
Hmm.
Either way, this fight is very clear, very direct, and very soon. So
All right.
I choose to focus here.
That's fair. That's all. Cyrus goes back to drinking.
Shortly after
No,
you
no, you don't. You're cut off, little frog.
Short,
Oh no!
Shortly after you and Wild stop talking, Durort grabs you by the shoulders and turns you in his direction, slowly.
Who, me or Wild?
Cyrus.
Oh, okay.
And he says, Cyrus,
Yes.
did
Hi,
Durort
Drawer.
hear you correctly? Were you killed?
I don't know. Was I talking that loud?
Were you killed in
You-
battle?
You were on the
He
other side
was.
of the bar.
I was
He
right next
was.
to you.
Oh gosh. I died, but only for a little while. I got better.
Less than a minute.
Who did it?
Still died though.
Who did it, Cyrus?
Has Derork met Graves?
Greaves.
I mean, he's an orc, so he probably. I mean,
But he's not been in the party when we've been attacked by Graves. Graves is newer.
Does
I
it
just
ma-
Wild shakes his fist.
does
Graves.
does it affect your answer to the question?
I was killed by my own stupid mistakes.
No,
It was
donk.
Partial to
he
blame.
shake-
named Graves.
he shakes
the
you by the
mistake was
shoulder.
named Graves. Ow.
Oh,
Just the all-out party assault.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you tell him the name is Graves, and there's a pause, and he's like,
like,
fuck.
Oh, you heard of him.
Daruk
Yeah.
was hoping it was a problem he could fix more easily.
Yeah, I think we all were.
Well, we're working on fixing it. And it
Do you have
turns
any-
out the king and dwarves are gonna help us.
Oh, well, that's good.
Hmm.
Cyrus,
yeah.
you're drunk. Shush.
Oh, I'll just
Don't worry,
Back to my
Graves is gonna
lemonade.
get fixed. Yeah, you drink your lemonade, bud. Soon, they'll all be lemonade and blood.
And the
I don't think I want lemonade anymore.
the camera pulls back on a unorthodox discussion about lemonade.
Why
Any-
blood in the lemonade? Why'd you ruin the lemonade?
Anyway, so yeah, there will be talks behind the camera about a number of things, and we'll come back next week, hopefully.
Wheedly, wheedly, wheedly.
Yeah. Where do you guys know what's gonna happen after? Well, that's a discussion we're gonna have later.
I mean, I was gonna
We know
say,
what we want to-
yeah, I have to sit here for another 24
Yeah.
hours and get talked at.
Yeah. We'll do that. Else,
But after that,
it's fine.
Mhm.
Well, I won't make you answer that question now because you don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow.
mhm.
All right. Say goodnight to Twitch.
Night
Night,
Witch.